I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't want to come outside. Even though I love coming outside, this is like one of my favorite times of the day. Just the weather. Sometimes when the weather is not optimal, I just don't want to come, you know? It's so comfy inside, it's so warm and stuff like that. And even I was laying on like a couch or like a bed. and yeah, no one ever comes in when it's like this, when it's this weather, no one ever comes outside. Like usually around this time there's like a lot of people, not a lot, but a fair amount of people. I see one guy over there walking, but yeah, usually no one comes when it's like this type of weather. Right now it's like 52 degrees, and there's not even that much wind. It's not even cold. There's like, obviously there's like warm, there's a cold, there's like hot, and there's like, it's cold, and then there's neutral, right? We'll say we're not like hot or cold or even like anywhere here, but we're like neutral but slightly here, so like people don't come, you know. And that's even why I was a little complacent today to even come. But eventually I came, and why is that? Why did I actually come? I was thinking about this while I was walking here. 6 minutes, it's like a 6-minute walk. And I was thinking, because the reason why I came here, even though I didn't want to, discipline, okay, fair enough, but get a little bit more specific. The reason why I came here, instead of staying at home and just doing whatever, is because the guilt of not coming outside outweighed the friction of me actually coming outside. Does that make sense? So basically every decision is like a scale, right? There's like a scale and there's two different sides, you know? And whichever side is more heavy is the side that you'll pick. You'll go with it, you know? Everything is almost like a pros and cons, you know? There's more pros here, there's a decision, you list out the pros and cons in your head, you know, or you think about them at least, and you're like, okay, I like the pros of this one better than this one. Okay, the weight is shifted more to this one than this one. Okay, we're gonna do this one, right? And that's also a very important mindset to think about. You don't, because the normal disciplined mindset about, oh, do the hard work, you know, when you don't feel like it, like, sure, okay, it's pretty cool, but I find that there's a step skipped, you know. They go straight to the do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. But people don't even, you have to start from level 1. People don't even realize they actually can do the hard work when they don't feel like it. People are under the presumption that if they don't feel like it, they think they can't do it, you know? And it sounds silly, but that's just how people operate in their head. You know, they're like, oh, I don't feel like it, oh, I can't do it now. People say I can't, you know, oh, I just can't, bro. Like, yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. People always say I can't. And then those words form their belief, you know, that they actually can't. So I'm gonna go back to what I was saying about, I said the guilt of me not coming outside, for example, is heavier, outweighs the friction of actually coming outside. And then also there's the pros and cons list, right? That the pros and cons list of your choices, you know, like, oh, the pros of coming outside are this, the cons are this and this, you know. There has to be a way of quantifying, what is it? There has to be a way of giving point values, like giving points, assigning points to a certain thing, you know. For example, one pro is gonna be stronger than another pro, you know. Not every pro is equal, you know. So, how do you do that? How do you also get the guilt? You know, how do you get the good waswas? How do you get the good whispers? The way I think because guilt is a very strong force. You need guilt, you know. Guilt is from the fitra, you know. نفس اللوامة. لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by the نفس اللوامة. You know, it's almost like, have you ever heard of someone playing video games, or someone that's fat and binge eats? You know, let's take the former for an example. Someone who plays video games all the time and is addicted to them and tries to stop. They try to quit video games for, you know, they try to quit. Okay, tomorrow I'm not gonna play any video games. You know, they try to quit for like, I don't know, a while, and maybe like 4 days later they're back on the video game and they're playing. Right? They played the video game and they go to sleep and they're like, why did I do that? You know, I'm so ashamed of myself. You know, they think in their head, oh, I'm so ashamed of myself. You know, why did I play those games? And then the next time they're gonna quit, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna quit this time for sure. And let's say they go back, you know, after like 6 days instead, you know, instead of 4 days, 6 days. You know, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna quit. You know, they try to quit over and over again, and each and every time they have more resolve. You know, after each relapse, I guess you can say, they have more resolve. So this leads to, it basically leads to you having to have resolve in fighting shaitan. You know, but how do you increase that resolve? Do you have to go through the failures? That's a good question. I don't even know, to be honest, right now. I guess you could say it's one way. I don't know if it is the way, because you've heard, like, almost everyone has like a jahiliyyah, days of jahiliyyah, you know, like, oh, you know, I used to do this and that, and then, you know, now I'm like this, you know, now I actually try to, after this incident happened or whatever, now I started actually caring. But I can imagine that's not the only way. I can imagine that there's like a formula. Could there be? To be honest, I'm not sure. How to increase the west-west? It would be a circular point to say you listen to the good west-west by acting on it, because then you might not even have the good west-west in the first place. So it might be circular, but I'm not sure. I think I should think about that more. Assalamu alaikum.